Have you ever been in a place, no matter how much love you pour into your marriage, it just feels like you're drifting further apart? You keep trying. You really do. You talk, you listen, you give, and still it feels like you're standing on different sides of a canyon, shouting to be heard. And if you've been there, or if you're there right now, you're not alone. And you're not crazy for feeling heartbroken, tired, or even afraid. So today on the Voyage cast, this is what we're talking about, a different way to think about marriage. A way that doesn't dismiss the pain you're carrying. A way that respects your heart and your hope. It's called the Mountain of Intimacy, and it's about how growing separately, not abandoning each other, but growing side by side is actually how we heal and grow stronger together. So if you're tired, hurting, or just wondering if there's another way forward, stay with me, because you deserve a love that rises slowly, patiently, and tenderly. I'm Eddie, your host, and let's get into it. Two climbers, one summit, a different picture of marriage. When we first fall in love, the feelings are so incredibly powerful that it almost feels like we've become one person. We can't distinguish between the other and ourselves, two souls, perfectly aligned, walking the same path effortlessly. But real life is so much harder than that. Inevitably, pain enters the picture, as it does. Misunderstandings start to pile up, as they do. Old wounds we never knew we had begin to resurface. And suddenly, it feels like the person we love most is miles and miles and miles away. If you've ever looked at your partner and thought, how did we get here? That's real. And it's human. And it's something I hear all the time from my couples. What if marriage isn't about walking the same trail side by side, step for step? What if it's about being two separate climbers, each climbing their own side of a great mountain? And of course, the mountain represents the marriage. And you're working toward the same summit, but on different paths. And that summit would represent the connection, the bond you're trying to achieve. This episode is brought to you by Voyage's Counseling, the mothership of the Voyage cast. Life has its ups and downs, and sometimes we all need a little help navigating the tricky parts. And that's where Voyage's Counseling comes in. Our team of licensed therapists are here to provide support and guidance, helping you to gain clarity and confidence as you move forward. Whether you're working through challenges, improving your relationships, or focusing on your personal growth, Voyage's Counseling offers care that's tailored to you. We're committed to making sure every step you take feels meaningful and manageable. And if you're ready to take that step, visit voyagescounseling.com to learn more or book your first session. You don't have to go it alone. And, by the way, we do take most major insurances. When trying to fix each other only deepens the pain. Here's what makes it harder. When we see our partner struggling, slipping, hurting, we panic. We want to reach over. We want to fix them. We want to carry them. But the more we scramble to manage their climb, the more exhausted we become. The more resentful we feel. And the more misunderstood they feel. What was meant as love starts to feel like this pressure to perform, to take over, to almost parent. What was meant as support starts to sound like judgment. Like so many couples that I work with, that judgment also sounds like mothering or fathering. And without meaning to, both people end up lonelier than ever before. Choosing to grow while honoring the pain. Clinical psychologist Dr. David Snarch describes something called differentiation, which is basically the ability to stay connected to your partner without losing your own center. Not by pretending the hurt isn't real, not by closing off or walking away, but by saying, I will walk my path with integrity, I will face my own pain and growth, and I will honor your path too, even if it scares me. It's not selfishness, it's sacredness. It's understanding that real intimacy isn't about fixing each other. It's about witnessing each other, supporting each other, and growing toward a summit only two whole people can reach together. Or at least two people that are trying to be whole. Why personal growth isn't about abandonment. It's love in action. Let's be clear. Focusing on your own growth doesn't mean turning away from your partner. It means loving them from a place of strength, not fear. Here's how we do it. You first take personal responsibility because that brings safety. You see, when you own your pain without blaming them, you actually become a safe place again. You stop being another burden they have to carry. You become a lighthouse, steady, kind, unwavering. Number 2, releasing control rebuilds trust. Oddly enough, trying to force someone to change never created lasting intimacy. But trusting them to walk their path in their way can rebuild broken trust, even if you don't like how they walk their path. But you have to stop being their judge and start being their witness or encourager. 3, conflict becomes compassion. When you are rooted in your own growth, you can stay calm in a hard conversation, in a chaotic conversation, in a conversation that's not going your way. You can hear their heart, even when it's messy. You can speak your own pain, even when it's vulnerable. It's no longer about winning arguments, right? It's about healing conversations. 4, make room for real connection. When you're not trying to fix your partner's climb, you're free to actually enjoy them again. You're taking that load off so you can laugh, you can hope, and maybe even remember why you chose them in the first place. But you might be asking to yourself, what if they get stuck, though? What if they're not moving up the mountain with me? Well, sometimes your partner may not want to climb. They might be afraid. They might be stuck in old patterns of hurt. They might refuse to grow altogether, not because they don't love you, but because growth is terrifying. Or maybe they just prefer being in this rut of life. And this is heartbreaking. I get it. I've watched many couples go through this exact dynamic, and there's no sugarcoating it here. It just sucks. But listen, you cannot climb both sides of the mountain. You cannot carry them and yourself. It just doesn't work. You are responsible for your side of the mountain, for your climb, for your path. You're responsible for your own healing. And sometimes setting boundaries, hard, painful boundaries, is an act of love for both of you. Whether they join you at the summit or not, your climb is definitely not wasted. Because here's the deal, you will be stronger. You will have learned things that you wouldn't have otherwise, which means you will be wiser. You will be more capable of real love, whether this is in this relationship now or the next one. And look, I hope this one works. But let's be real. Sometimes the things we learn in the broken relationships benefit us in the next one if we're willing to learn it. Small ways to start climbing with compassion. If you're wondering at all where to start, always consider this. Start small. Start today, but in little bits. And here's some of the little bits. Self-reflect gently. Ask yourself, where am I hurting? What parts of me are still healing? What's mine to carry and what's not? These are differentiating things. It's helping you understand basically where you begin and end. So be honest, but be tender with yourself. Because what do you know? You're just learning this for the first time. Or maybe you're learning it again for the second or third time. It takes a few times to get it. Be patient. Set growth goals rooted in hope, not expectation. Maybe it's learning to communicate without blame. It takes time to learn that. Hope for it. Don't expect it. Just work towards it. Maybe it's healing childhood wounds that keep resurfacing. Again, hope for the growth, hope for the healing. Don't expect that healing to come right away. Maybe it's simply learning to sit with discomfort without reacting. This one's really hard. Most of the couples I've worked with over the years have an incredible tendency to simply react and correct and defend and rebut whatever is coming their way. So this one's hard. So we hope for growth in this area. We don't expect it right away. It's one small step at a time. And one of the things I tell a lot of my couples is I never expect anybody to get this right away. In fact, I expect you to fail miserably at these things. I just hope that you continue to fail forward in these things, to quote John Maxwell. Pause the rescue reflex. When you feel that urge to fix them, really pause. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself, Their climb is theirs, my climb is mine. This is that differentiation we're talking about. We're differentiating what we're responsible for and what we're not responsible for. Celebrate tiny moments of courage. When you speak honestly without rage, celebrate that. That's cool. When you sit with your pain instead of numbing it, that feels crappy, but it's good, and it's something you should celebrate. When you choose grace over control, you should celebrate that too, because you're no longer telling them anymore how to walk their path. You're focusing on yourself and you're giving them grace for how they do it. Every small act of growth really does matter. Seek honest support. Find people who will hold you accountable with love, not people who blame your partner, not people who shame you, people who say, keep growing, you're doing great, you can do this, you got this, whatever cliche, platitude, encouraging, affirming thing that is supporting growth and development, not demonization of somebody. This journey is a sacred journey in a real sense, because it's about your heart and soul development as much as it is about the development of your marriage. But let's start with a healthy expectation. Marriage isn't about perfection. It's not about climbing flawlessly or never slipping. It's about two broken people, beautiful people, choosing again and again to climb. Some days will be heavy. Some days you will feel alone. But you're not alone. You're part of something bigger, something brave. And even if your partner stumbles, even if the summit feels really far away, every step you take toward wholeness brings more hope, more healing, more real and authentic intimacy. Keep climbing. You are stronger and at times softer in a good way than you know. You are absolutely worthy of reaching the summit. All right, well, thanks for joining me on another episode of the Voyage Cast. I hope this episode gave you some encouragement and maybe some guidance on how to reorient yourself emotionally with healthy boundaries and differentiation. And if this conversation did do something good for you, then please share it with your friends, your family, anybody you know, anybody you hate, and especially the broken people in your life who might need to know something about relationships and what it means, which is mostly everybody. And don't forget to subscribe. Some people listening to our podcast aren't subscribing, so please do that. That does help with the overlord algorithms, as well as 5-star reviews, which I'm noticing those of my listeners are not leaving. So please take a second. It's really easy. Just leave that little review. This helps us help more people because it spreads the word. It gets those algorithms to show everybody else that we have something to offer. If you think that's valuable, please do it. Until next time, I'm Eddie, reminding you growth is messy, healing is hard, but love, the real kind, is worth every step.
What the hell?